So we're live and the race is about to get going here.
All right, cool. Welcome to Speed Gaming 3, everybody. We have a wonderful race for you tonight. Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise.
So we should hopefully get started here any second. But while we're here, the Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise is a randomizer. Basically, the game will start you with a couple of random characters and sometimes a key item with these flags at will, and give you the airship, and then pretty much set you into the world of Final Fantasy IV. Your main goal is to get the crystal and then get to Zeromus so you can beat him. In the simplest way.
Oh, absolutely. All right, looks like we're off and start with Rydia and Fusoya. Really good start. And the Baron Key is the initial item. So to start off, there's a few places you can go for to find key items. You can go to Antlion Cave, you can go to Fabul, you can go to Mount Ordeals, or you can do the Baron Inn. Those are really your four spots for finding key items without any other key items. So we may see some people go up towards Antlion. With T4 being on, that means that any chest can contain really any item in the game besides key items. So we're going to see people hop into towns, browse around, open chests and stuff, and hope to find some really good gear.
Yeah, I think most racers nowadays start going into Baron and getting the 6 or 7, items here early, checking the item shop and seeing if they have anything they can do to basically get a good start to the run. They also get a quick peek at the character inside the inn, which is Dark Knight Cecil currently.
So that Baron Inn spot is actually locked by 2 bosses. The first one we can actually see, which happens to be Kane Azo. That slot has about 400 HP or so it's a really easy fight. The one after that is a little bit more rough, and we don't exactly know who it is. And we found an adamant armor already at Baron.
Oh wow, that's going to make things a little easier. I believe inside the item shop I saw some Gaia drums too, which will cast the Quake spell and is very useful early on.
Oh, absolutely. And any of those J items that are abusable like that all do about the same damage no matter who uses them. It's not really based off of magic stat per se.
And although we're starting with Fusoya, he starts with a very limited amount of spells with the F2 flag that we have on. So he's not going to be the most useful right away, but kill a couple bosses and he'll get there.
Oh, absolutely. And we won't have to worry about really anything with an early adamant armor. Maybe like a Wyvern with Mega Nuker or something like that, but most of the bosses are going to be really easy with adamant armor. So it looks like Izan is checking the Mist Dragon spot. With the end flag on, instead of Edward having a key item, the Mist Dragon will be locking a key item that you actually have to kill the Mist Dragon and then go back to Mist and talk to Rydia's mom, and you'll get a key item from there. So it looks like that they're...
My bet would be Aizen's doing it to get a couple spells for the Fusoya.
Yeah. And with the F2 flag, you need to beat bosses to unlock spells, as Kobahi's already mentioned.
It looks like Benjamin is doing the same thing here. And we see it's the King Queen of Eblon.
So there's a couple ways to go about that fight. Since N2 is off, you can just sit out this fight if you want and kill the bosses. So if King Queen Eblon happen to be in a really tough spot, you could just sit and wait out the fight. But here it's faster to probably just kill him because the Mist Dragon's slot has about 480 HP.
Nothing too useful for spells, but it gets him along the path, so...
Oh, absolutely. So it looks like Great White Hope is going to check the treasure room in Damcian. There are, I want to say, 12 chests total in here that can contain some fairly good items.
Yeah, and we have Dusty Griff out into the Antlion Cave.
So the treasure room doesn't really look like there was too much in there besides the Zeus gauntlets. Yeah. Lilith Rod's pretty good too.
I didn't see it before, but there was a life rod in there as well.
Yeah, the Life Rod is definitely another good one, but having Rydia in your party getting Adamant and a Lilith Rod already, she's going to be pretty unstoppable if we can get her some summons. So Great White Hope is actually going to Toroya. There's a treasure room in the right side of Toroya that contains 8 chests. There's one that contains 1 chest, and then there's another one that you need the Earth Crystal to have access to unlock, and it contains, I want to say, 20 chests.
I believe that is right.
Basically what they're doing right now, they're just trying to gather equipment and see what they can work with. We have Izan actually going up Mount Hobbs to find out who the character up here is. And it's Edge, blocked by either the Baron Guards or that other boss, the Officer Soldier, yeah. So that's actually a really good find, having Edge and Fusoya on your team at the same time, especially this early.
Especially if they got that Zeus Gauntlet, and I believe I saw a Ninja Sword as well, so they're going to be well off for this run.
Oh, absolutely. And there's 2 stores in the Toroyan town. There's the traditional item shop, and then in Vanilla, where you buy the pass, that is also a shop itself. So we're going to see a couple item shops here, and we're going to be looking for the pass, or any other items that we can use, such as sirens or coffins or some sort of J item that you usually don't see in the Vanilla game.
So it looks like it was the Baron soldiers on Mount Hobbs, and in the Antlion Cave was the Baron Guards.
Oh, nice.
In the Antlion Cave, we find the spoon.
So the spoon is pretty useless in the game unless you have Edge. You can throw it for a large amount of damage, but other than that, it's pretty useless. And it looks like we have Wyvern at Octomam spot. So that's going to be a pretty rough fight there. It's probably something that you might not want to come back for at all. And at least we know exactly where Wyvern is at now, which is really good. It means he's not blocking like a super difficult spot.
No, but I feel like Benjamin might be in for more than he's doing right now.
Oh, absolutely.
So we have Great White Hope, and it looks like Dusty's also heading up to grab Edge right now. So they're going to be probably pretty happy with that find.
Yeah, Edge and Fusoya at the beginning, it's really kind of the best combination that you can get really early on, because they're at a higher level than everybody else, and their HP count is a lot higher than, say, getting Kid Rydia right away with 30 HP. So it didn't look like there was too much in the chest past Hobbs. Really not worth it going out of the way and getting from what I saw. But it is a fair amount of chests if you ever have to decide to go there.
Yeah, I usually only go for those extra ones if I have a form of the exit spell. It's 2 people finishing up Antlion Cave, and we'll see where Dusty heads next. My bet would be Fabul Castle, but
So the next spot that these guys are probably going to hit up is more than likely going to be Fabul, since we really don't have too many key items showing us, hey, this is where you need to go. Fabul is the second easiest spot really to get. And then we'll see what they choose after Fabul. Should be really interesting to see if anybody gambles Baron in really early or something like that.
my guess would be with having Fusoya and knowing that Dark Knight Cecil's in Baron Castle, we'll probably see some people doing Mount Ordeals. Because there's 3 bosses there, so that's 9 spells for Fusoya, and turning Cecil into the Paladin.
Absolutely. So it looks like we got an Ashura for Rydio, which is really good. It'll be really good for healing, so Fusuya on Edge can focus on dealing some damage.
Vegetator picking up his spoon here in a second.
Ooh, and we have Sirens in the Fabul item shop, which I have a feeling we'll be seeing Sirens being used quite a lot here for grinding.
Yeah, they're the preferred method for getting levels. Those that don't know, Sirens will summon the rare encounter from wherever you're standing. And just the way this game works, we have a spot where we can stand to get a particular enemy that's easy to kill. Well, easy-ish to kill.
Yeah,
easy-ish.
I think they have it's an egg that contains a yellow dragon. I think it has like 1850 HP. I want to say it's really close to that. But they are also weak to instant death. So if we do find a coffins for sale anywhere, that's usually a really good combo that people used to grind.
I mean, with Ninja Sword, Zeus Gauntlet, Adamant Armor, it wouldn't take Edge long to be able to take them out either.
Oh, absolutely. And it looks like Dr. Luge is the Fabul boss.
Yeah, Dr. Luge is usually, in these early places, pretty easy because his HP gets spread out across all 3 targets. The 2 in the first fight and the 1 in the second fight.
Dr. Luge is a split fight. You fight Dr. Luge and then Balnab in the first fight, and the second one you just fight Dr. Luge, who turns into some weird skeleton thing.
Yeah, I never quite understood that one, but...
But as you saw there, he does counter physicals with sleep, and that can be quite devastating to a team that relies on nothing but physicals.
Oh, we have Great White Hope going after Kinaza already.
Oh, nice. So we do have a Baron dip. That's a really good play, in my opinion.
We also got the Adamant key item in Fabul.
And Golbez in the other slot. That is pretty unfortunate. If he has a Moon Veil, that would be perfect.
I mean, I would assume he has Edge equipped with the Adamant armor, which also
That's
makes
true. Virus can still do a fair amount of damage, though.
That is true. Luckily, this cutscene will only kill off 1 character, as it's programmed to basically bring you down to 2.
So yeah, whenever Golbez will summon the Shadow Dragon here, it will bring your party down to 2 members, no matter how how sizable your party is. So if you have 5 people, it'll bring them down to 2, and then you can either just try and kill Golbez right away, or just kind of go from there. It looks like Dusty's checking Silvera on the way. There's 3 item pots in Silvera that you can grab, and there's an armor and weapon shop as well. So it looks like Great White's actually gone for the Zeus Rage strat, which is actually really good too, especially because he seems to be outpacing Golbez significantly. That slot has 4,000 HP. That's how much it has in vanilla. How do you get through the mountain? Okay, how do you get through the mountain to Fabul if RNG doesn't give you Iridia early on? You have the airship, so you can just fly over there.
Yeah, you just exit from the back way, and then you can walk up. Looks like we got the tower key in the Baron Inn with Dark Knight Cecil. So Great White Hope has made it through the Golbez fight.
It looks like we're about to find out who's blocking the bridge. We got a Moon Boss. We know it can't be Wyvern already. Ogopogo. This fight, really not too bad for this position. Ogopogo will counter magic with Blaze, and will cast Big Wave twice on his first turn, which does 50% of your health, and then another Big Wave later on. Ooh, looks like Great White's going using the Baron key, and it looks like I found a white robe in the first chest, which is really, really good for Rosa if we ever do find her.
Yeah, Rosa or Palom can make great use. Porum can make great use of that.
I saw Great White swap the bandana for the ninja helmet. I'd honestly would have left the bandana on since it does apply. I think it's +5 to strength. I want to say.
Yeah, the bandana's +5.
And the ninja is only +3 to agility. Yeah, you're making him a little bit faster, but you kind of want his damage output to be a little bit higher. Looks like Izan got through Ogopogo without any issues. And saving smartly before going to take on the Mylon Z-Spot.
Dusty's in this fight as well with Ogopogo, and we find out the back boss is the Mist Dragon.
Which is very good because that unlocks another key item after Mount Ordeals here.
So we'll make a look at 2 quick items here.
Ooh, another moon boss inside of Baron. So we know it can't be Ogopogo or Wyvern, so that leaves Plague, D-Lunars, or Pale Dim.
And we got the D-Lunars. They can be a tricky boss unless you know to only use magic against them. If you use a physical attack against them, they will wall themselves and start bouncing viruses onto your team.
And if you ever do get stuck in the spot with the D-Lunars, one thing that you can do is if you kill one of them and then physically attack the second one while the first one is dead, it will cast Wall on itself and it will just sit there. It'll freeze its AI because it's looking for a virus on itself from its partner. It can be a very useful strategy when used properly. It looks like Izan's through D-Mist, which is good. We're going to go find out our key item and then the third boss on the mountain.
Yeah, looks like we got the Dark Knight Cecil boss goading Baron.
That can be pretty rough. Not too bad. The damage rolls look pretty good from Darkwave.
Yeah, it looks
especially
like it's not too bad here. With Fusoya and Edge, he'll have no problem just sitting there and waiting for
and having
himself.
Yeah, and with no free lunch one on, it allows for you to just sit through some of the bosses that have a script, like Dark Knight Cecil. You just let him do his Darkwave 3 times, and you're automatically through. You don't have to kill him.
Got the rat tail on the top of Mount Ordeals here.
Oh, it's an interesting item, and Ashura there is pretty easy.
Yeah, this boss only has 1,000 life, so. Have to find. Oh, Edward is the character in the Baron Castle.
Oh, interesting.
How lucky for Grit, I know.
Edward has his uses, not all the time, but he can be useful in some areas. So here, after you beat the third boss, Tella's spells become unlocked, and Cecil becomes a paladin, which is actually quite useful for the seed since we do have Cecil available.
My guess is that this Baron thing can only be a couple things right now, because there's only a couple spots left. It looks like it was the Pan hiding in Baron Castle.
Ooh.
So with what we've seen available, it looks like the Mist Dragon is going to be holding something to get to the underworld.
Absolutely. It would either be the hook or the magma key, or it could be the Earth Crystal or the Twin Harp as well.
Correct.
It just can't be any item that would stop progress. So it couldn't be something like the Legend Sword. Looks like Izan finds an Hourglass 1 in Mysidia's item shop.
Hourglass is another useful J item, which can cast Stop on all the enemies. It's a couple of the actual boss fights where it's useful, but it's more useful in the higher flags where you have to maybe fight some of those chest monsters.
Yeah, absolutely. Alright, should be finding out what our key item is here pretty soon after Izan checks the chests here.
Yeah, and we have Great White Hope going back to do some of the things he skipped as he went through Baron first.
And it looks like our key item is going to be the Twin Harp. That means we get to listen to some amazing music. For those that don't know, the Twin Harp music in this is randomized every seed, and I believe there's a very large list that can be chosen from.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure on the actual number of songs of that, but I know I've heard quite a few myself. So.
Looks like we got some menuing here on Izan's side, just making sure that Rydia is taken care of, getting equipment all set up, and preparing to go fight the Baron boss. Alright, so it looks like Dusty's trying to squish everybody in Baron with the airship. Navigating the airship's actually really hard to do. There's been a patch applied to this randomizer to where if you hold down Y when you're flying the airship, it will actually half the speed so you can land and get precise movements a little easier than just trying to tap a direction and getting 2 squares instead of 1. And same applies for the hovercraft as well. If you hold down Y, you get basically just a turbo boost. You're going to double your speed and get to cruising a little bit faster.
Basically just quality of life things.
Yeah, exactly. So it looks like Izan's going to toss something at Golbez. Or just sitting there. Maybe somebody will toss the spoon. See if that happens. And we got a Benjinator taking on Ogopogo over here.
Yeah, it looks like clearing pretty much everything on the overworld. That's what the seed has for us. Great White Hope's on Mount Ordeals now too. 2 people going through Baron, and Benjinator will probably head to Baron after Mount Ordeals as well.
So there's only actually 3 things that are going to be hidden behind that Twin Harp. Either the hook, the magma key, or the Earth Crystal. And that will open up some sort of direction for them to go as soon as they get it done. So you see Benjinator using a Grimoire there. That summons a random summon. It's chosen based on the frame that you use it on. And you can get Chocobos over and over. You can get Titan over and over. But you can also get Bahamut and Leviathan and Sylph and really any of the summons that are available normally. Not like Imp or something like that.
Looks like we got Izan and Dusty both making it through Golbez and getting their Tower Key and Paladin Cecil.
So the Tower Key is super interesting. There's 2 items in the lower tower, Babel. One of them is locked by the Tower Key. A lot of times people will stray away from the tower, especially if they don't have the Tower Key, because they don't want to have to dip back in, and that can be very unfortunate. But there's also times where the crystal or the Tower Key itself can be in Lower Babel, and it can bite a lot of people in the butt. So we'll see if anybody makes the play into the tower once we get underground access.
Just looking from the chat, what probably happened on Izan is the dragon targeted his character with the adamant every time, making it immune to the death ability. Yeah,
there are 2 pieces of armor that, an armor and a helm in this game that can stop instant death, which, the evil doors use in the sealed cave. But those 2 items are the adamant armor and the ribbon. Those 2 will protect you from anything instant death. really related at all.
I just found Zeus gauntlets in the shop. I wonder if he's trying to pick another one up, but doesn't seem to have the money.
Zeus gauntlets are actually really good. They're plus 10 strength, but there's a very slight downside to them. They have 0 magic defense, and that can be pretty painful in some bosses, especially if you're fighting Zeromus, since all of his attacks are magic based. It's kind of along the same lines as the glass helm. It's really, really good for physical defense, but it has absolutely 0 magic defense.
We got Ben Shader and Great White Hope finishing off Mount Ordeals here.
So it's looking like we're all going to converge about the same time headed to Twin Harp. Just judging by how they're kind of playing everything out, since everybody on the top has already done Baron, and the people on the bottom are now doing Baron. By the time they all head to the Twin Harp, it should be all about the same.
I don't think Ben has done Baron yet. He lost some time going to fight Wyvern.
Oh yeah, that's right. So Ben will be a little bit behind, but hopping through Baron's pretty quick. Just 2 bosses and a little short cutscene. Another thing that you can actually do to the D-Lunars, if you don't have any magic or items available, if you have Cure 2s and Cure 3s, you can toss them at them as well, and that will actually damage them since they are undead.
Just trailing slightly behind Dusty here, about to fight the D-Lunars as well. Looks like Great White Hope is going to get his Twin Harp, I believe.
Yeah, going to be snagging the Twin Harp, and then really the only play Great White has right now is heading up to the Sealed Cave, or not Sealed Cave, the Magnus Cave. So a lot of the time when you're flying around, especially since it is open world, if you're not familiar with the maps, there are actually some landmarks that you can look for, and that I use all the time when I'm trying to navigate myself around. If I'm trying to get somewhere quick instead of flying around for a little bit, like if I'm headed to Mysidia and I'm in Baron, I'll fly directly south to that island, and then I'll go directly east, and we'll end up right in Mysidia. So finding landmarks is actually really good to kind of pay attention to as you're flying around.
Oh, wow.
It looks like... Oh.
The gear in the Baron basement, there was another adamant armor, a ribbon, and a white spear. That
is pretty insane. I was about to ask you if you happened to catch what Izan grabbed, and that's some really good gear that pretty much all these people missed out on. And there's also more items in the right tower if you do want to happen to go all the way out there.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Dusty grabbed any of that stuff or if Great White did when he was there. Oh, he also finds a defense sword for Cecil.
Yeah, the Cecil's starting to get pretty stacked right now. So Great White is traversing through Cave Magnus. Probably going to open every... Well, not open every chest. Going to skip some chests, just go right to the boss. And we'll find out what our awesome music is coming up soon.
He might be at a point where he's comfortable enough with his gear that he just wants to make it through.
Oh, definitely. So for the Dark Elf here, we still have to get through this little first fight just to get the parish. This is a mandatory little cutscene that we have to do. One thing that you can do is you can equip metal items on everybody, and it's an instant death. Or if you happen to be in Great White's position right now, we can either wait it out Or another option would have been to have Fusoya just kill everybody with magic. Just to try and save a little bit of time so you don't have to sit through all those animations.
We actually have Aizen fighting Dark Knight Cecil instead of waiting it out. Looks like he killed him pretty fast anyways, so...
Yeah, that's not... The 4,000... Or, Kane also has 40... Just 4,000 flat, I think. It's not like it's a hard slot, but it can be interesting. Alright, looks like we have the Pokemon battle theme.
In form, of course.
In form of harp, yes. It is... As I said before, there's a really long list I'm sure that Boardface has added to this game.
Dusty taking a peek and noticing that Rosa is the one sleeping where she should be.
So that character that Dusty found, Rosa being in the bed, that person is locked by the Sand Ruby. So if we do happen to find the Sand Ruby, picking up Rosa would be infinitely valuable. It looks like we have the elements at the Dark Elf spot. The HP in that slot the HP in that slot will be split between the 4 elements. And they'll shift phase, or you can just skip a phase shift like Great White did.
Yep.
So I'm going to say this is probably the Magma Key. I'm going to go hookless here.
I'm saying hook. But that doesn't stop the Rat Tail from being the Magma Key.
Oh, absolutely. But it is the Magma Key, so that gives us underground access. And since we do have the pan, I'm assuming we're going to see them dip into Sylph Cave right away and go smack Yang with the pan, so we can go back to Fool and get 2 items. And then they're going to probably go to the Land of the Summon Monsters to grab the free key item that's in there. And maybe we'll find the crystal there. We never know.
Yeah. I would bet they'd hit the Land of the Summons. I usually hit it first because there's also a shop for the pass that we still need to find.
Yeah. The only reason I usually go to Land of Summon Monsters first is if I don't have the pan. If I have the pan, I'll just go do Sylph Cave really quick, and then I'll go Land of the Summon Monsters, and then route my way south through the shops, go to Tamra shop, and then go to the Dwarf Castle shop, and then I'll fly back up. That's just how I go about things.
Enough. It looks like Dusty found another ribbon in the Magnus Cave. It's one that we saw Great White skip that chest.
More ribbons. Looks like we have Stardusts and Agate. Useful item, spammable, just like Gaia drums were spammed earlier, and so on and so forth.
I did notice when Dusty was in Kaipo, he also found the Lives, which I think nobody else has.
Yeah, Lives are actually really good, especially if we find the Darkness Crystal, then we can go to actually do the grind fight that's in the Giant of Babel. I think that's the second ribbon we've seen so far.
Yeah, the first ribbon was in the Baron Castle, the second one is in this Magnus Cave.
And Dusty performing the party execution, just like I had talked about earlier, having Fusoya just kill everybody off, saves a little bit of time over the animations that Aizen's going through right now. Buying 10 Stardust. Just not a bad plan. Definitely a good item to actually use.
I mean, something for Edward to do right now.
Exactly. Edward proving to be somewhat useful. So it looks like Great White is going right into the Sylph Cave. We're just going to go run to Yang really quick, smack him in the face with the pan, so we have proof that we actually hit him. And once we go back to Fabul and turn in the pan, we'll get an item. But before that, we'll talk to Yang's wife, and she'll give us an item for going and telling her where he is.
Both Dusty and Aizen doing the, I guess, elements fight in the Magnus Cave.
cursed ring from the sylphs on Great White's side. Cursed ring is an interesting thing. It reduces all stats by 15, but it adds kind of an absorb type thing. If you have any armor equipped that halves any type of element, and you have the cursed ring on with that, it absorbs that actual whatever it is. So like with adamant armor, if you had it on, you would absorb all elements, and your stats would naturalize themselves because of the adamant's plus 15 to every stat, and then the cursed ring's minus 15. And that can be really useful in fights like Rubicon and stuff like that.
Looks like Great White Hope is just toting in the pan stuff right away. He didn't even go to the land of the summoned monsters.
Yeah, that's definitely a thing that you can do, because Sheila's been known to hold the crystal quite a few times before, and finding the crystal is really our main goal, especially since we got the sand ruby, so we can get Rosa. And the hook. So the hook opens up our rat tail turn in, and it also opens up another character in Eblon Cave.
As well as the shops at Eblon.
Absolutely. So I'm assuming he's going to go pick up his hovercraft and then probably go toss in the rat tail, see what we can get there.
We may see him dip into Eblon, even if it's not for the character, but to check the shops for the pass. Looks like he's going to pick up Rosa first here.
Which is a really smart play. Rosa is arguably the best character in the game, especially with this randomizer. Her stat growth, her HP growth, and the stuff that she can equip is just overpowered for really anything.
Got Vegetator finishing up Baron here and picking up his pan. Probably realizing he has to do the Magnus Cave now.
One thing that is kind of important in this is inventory management. Dusty Griff there was going to go buy something at the store, and his inventory was full, so we ended up not being able to buy anything, and we got to kind of clear stuff out.
Oh, it looks like he found the pass wherever he is. I'm not.
That's in Agert.
Ah.
I think it's Agert. I may be wrong. Nope, it's Toroya. So the Toroya second shop, it's a vanilla pass location. That's where the pass is in the vanilla game. That gets you into the little the secret club in Toroya.
I didn't see if Vegetator picked it up as well, but he is in the town.
Yeah, I didn't see it either, but it does look like Dusty has the pass as well. And Tiara in the back of Toroya. Really good defensive item for the women who can use it.
Yeah. I almost never end up going for those ones.
No Bahamut or Leviathan. Are you reaching a point where you ditch Rydia? I ditch Rydia whenever I can. I personally don't like Rydia. She's good for early game if you have a summon, but other than that, just her growth is so bad that I usually just end up leaving her somewhere.
I mean, yeah, especially with them having Rosa now, if you didn't get a white mage with Ashra, you could use her as a healer, but...
Yeah, exactly. But looking at Great White's team, I think he's pretty confident that they're not going to pick anybody else up. If anything, they'd probably pick up Yang and replace Rydia.
They might take Kane too with all the items that he has.
That's true. Oh, the crystal behind the rat tail. Very nice. So we are in go mode on Great White's side. All they need to do is go grind. Oh, they don't know where the pass is yet, though.
No, he hasn't checked the shops in Troya.
So almost go mode. We're in no mode. I'm just gonna go grind right now. And it looks like we have one forfeit already in the race. Oh, Great White's gonna go item hunting. He's looking for that pass. Looking for go mode. Let's hope they remember Troya. Coffins. Coffins are a very good find. That makes the grind super fast.
Yeah, it looks like Eisen found the legend sword in the Land of the Summons.
Oh, nice. That's a good spot for it. Not really going to be super useful. Well, we do have adamant, so we could turn it. We could turn it in for the Excal for Cecil. Let's see if they make that play or not. That's a really big selling point on keeping Cecil or not, is his gear. If you find like the Excalibur or the Crystal Sword, usually you're going to want to keep Cecil due to his very high attack. And it looks like Liam Atlas has forfeited.
Oh, Great White picking up some coffins, probably to use for the grind.
Yeah, that's coffins are a very good strategy for this iron grind fight over here. He's gonna land on this tiny little patch that it's a little 4-space patch, and use sirens here, and you get an egg. Time to make some omelets.
If I'm counting correctly, he has exactly 10 key items. So there's another flag we haven't here, where once you get to 10 key items, you double all experience earned. So he's earning 68,000 experience for every one of his party members for each of these fights.
And Rosa got a bonus because she's 10 levels under the... I don't remember how exactly that works, but if a character is 10 levels lower than, I think it's the mean of the party, you get a 3 times experience boost instead of a 2 times.
Benjanator about to pick up his Magma Key, I believe this was.
Yeah.
And Dusty Griff is going to find his 2 items from Sheila.
And let's see if they make any moves with the hovercraft and go turn in the rat tail, or if they go dip the tower or something. It'd be interesting to... It looks like Izan's going to turn in the legend and the adamant. Very smart play.
You also get access to another shop once you've turned this in, which could have some useful things.
And a couple items. There's an item in the wine cabinet right there, and then when you go down the stairs, if you hold right, there's a chest over there as well. And then there's 2 items over in the pots on the back side of the room there.
Looks like he just wants the Excalibur here.
Well, don't blame him at all. There we go. Now on Great White's side, during animations, if you're running, it actually saves you a tiny little bit of time. So what you'll see some people do is during the death animation on the egg, they'll just hold down the run buttons, and it'll cut the animation down by a few frames. And you're also already holding the buttons for the text box to advance at the end. You don't have to switch a button or something like that.
Looks like Dusty's going to turn in his rat tail item.
Alright.
Eisen's also going to get the hook in the sand ruby from Sheila. Benjamin is about to grab his magma key.
This will be a go mode for Dusty here. So there's not much left of the seed to go for Dusty. Dusty just got to go grind and then go fight Zeromus. Which... Go ahead.
About to say he's already found his pass, unlike Great White. It'd be interesting to see what Great does here after he grinds.
Yeah, exactly. Finding the pass, what you do in where we found the pass in this seed, if you go to talk to the guy that's standing beside that door and you show him the pass, it's just a shortcut to Zeromus here. So instead of going all the way to the moon, all the way through the lunar subterrane, we can instead just get a shortcut right to Zeromus.
Now we have Great White killing off Cecil here. My guess would be he's level 44, 45 and has 28 agility, trying to manipulate Zeromus's speed here.
How much priority would you give to getting Fu up to full power? It depends on what spells he has. If he has Nuke, then I wouldn't bother getting Fu full power at all. Nuke or Cure 4. But since we do have Rosa and she will be more than likely doing the curing, as long as Fuxia has Nuke, that's easy. I'd just leave him as is, not go fight a boss. It's like Dusty's going to turn into Legend and Adamant as well. Very smart play.
Yeah, on T4, if you've gotten to go mode, you have them and don't have a better weapon for Cecil, you probably do it every time.
Yeah, exactly. It's not that long, just grab it. We'll see if Dusty checks the items here, or if they feel comfortable enough to just go grind and fight Zeromus. Checking the shop. Nothing really good there. I saw Ice Claws, Charm Claw. Really nothing too much of value. Charm Claws are okay. They're good for Yang. They're okay for Edge, especially if you're not going to be attacking with Edge, since they do give a +3 boost to agility.
And we actually have Aizen dipping into the Eblon cave instead of handing in the rat tail.
It's interesting. Checking the item shop.
Yeah, well, Aizen has not found the pass, so...
Aizen, with the Bacchus Wines, those you use on yourself and they give the user Berserk, which is severely broken in this game.
Yes. My guess is Great White will be done grinding here in a second and probably go look for his way to the last boss.
Yeah, we'll probably see a couple shots. We'll probably see him just go right to Toroya, to be honest. It wouldn't shock me because they've been everywhere else.
Yeah. He might dip into Land of the Summons and even the Dwarf Castle first just to check the shops.
Yeah, that's just about to say that. I was like, I forgot that they didn't go to the Land of Summon monsters.
Aizen finds Porum in the Eblon cave and immediately exits out. With having Rosa already, there's no reason to pick up Porum.
Looks like he's prioritizing Toroya. A very smart play. So Great White is going to be fighting Zeromus here really, really soon. Going to see a safety save right outside here. Maybe they think they already have the pass. Nope. All right. Bacchus Wines are actually a really good find, so you don't have to waste your White Mage's turn for casting Berserk.
And he does indeed find the pass, and he's going to go right into the Zeromus fight here.
This is looking to be like a really good time. Should be a really quick fight with Cecil and Edge being berserked, and Rosa having white and crystal. She'll be able to survive everything. Yeah, this is gonna be a really quick fight.
Aizen finding the crystal here, and now it's the new fun game of what's right roll Zeromus speed.
I believe there are 250 different sprites that Zeromus can be. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's 250. And there's a lot of really good ones. I actually just saw a new one today, and it's now my favorite.
I'm afraid to ask.
It's from. Here, I'll say it's from Parasite Eve.
Okay. Benchinator also finding the coffins here, probably going to use them to grind.
Oh, it looks like Aizen's dipping into the Dwarf Castle. I'm curious as to if they're not searching for the pass or not, or if maybe they glanced over it when they were at item shops. All right, Moment of truth coming up. I've got Plague in the doll spot.
And Ceromus is
Good old Wart. Plague is a interesting boss as casts count on you, which is basically just man, what's it called? Final Fantasy VI. Condemned. That's what it is. It's a really quick condemned, and he actually casts fast on you there, which doesn't change how fast the timer goes down, surprisingly. So, taking a full power Big Bang on the Great White side. Wart's looking pretty fast. It's going to be a close one to recover on, which they managed to do quite well, actually.
Edge is in berserk mode, but eating another Big Bang almost immediately after healing.
Yeah, these full power Big Bangs can hurt quite a lot, especially when your party, like Cecil, has 2 magic defense versus Edge, who probably has around 60. So that's why, like, the damage variable is so different. And it looks like either Water Hag or the Fubul Gauntlet on Izan's side, with Tella appearing at the Dwarf Castle.
Probably not the character he wanted to see if he was looking for someone.
And it looks like it's the Fubul Gauntlet. So, for the Fubul Gauntlet, in Golbez's spot, it's going to be 3,000 HP split between the 5 battles, and then split between however many enemies are in each battle. And Great White is handling this fight quite well, and we're going to see the spoon tossed here. Should probably do close to 9,999.
At the levels he's at, it will do that.
Oh yeah, because it's got 255 throw power, or whatever it is, if I remember right.
Sawyer going down in that Big Bang. I'm not sure how much that's going to affect him.
Ooh, quick fires there really kind of hurts. Solo Rosa can be pretty rough. I'm almost curious as to what Cecil's agility is at.
I thought he killed him off, but I wonder if he equipped him with one of the adamant armors.
Yeah, because if he did that, that's no bueno there. It's going to be really tough to recover from this, especially with this Big Bang coming up. But Life 2 will go off after this and should be good. I see Benchinator picking up a Rosa. Very smart move.
My guess is he'll turn in the Rat Tail after they find his crystal and go to his grind as well.
So we see him using Cure 3. That's okay. Usually you'd want to toss a Cure 4 unless you know Rosa is equipped with all of her stuff to raise her willpower. Or is it Wisdom? Is it Wisdom for white magic?
It is... definitely willpower.
Definitely willpower. Okay. So just having Edge and Rosa like this should be perfectly fine, as long as the Big Bangs don't roll too high on Edge. Just curing with Rosa and having Edge berserked will get through the fight no problem.
As long as he doesn't randomly flip him to Medio at low health.
Yeah, which has happened quite a few times before. Alright, so it looks like Benchinator is turning in his Rat Tail and will find his crystal, putting him in go mode as well.
Bison's just finishing up the Dwarf Castle here. Soya's now at full power, but...
Curious as to what the reasoning for dipping into Dwarf Castle is when you know you have the crystal and you know that the pass is going to be in a shop. Maybe they're looking for... Maybe they think they checked all the shops, glanced over the pass, and maybe they're trying to find the Darkness Crystal so they can go to the moon to check for the pass.
Well, anything's possible. Oh, and we have our first place finisher.
And Venerable finishing with a 54-38. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
That's no problem.
So we should be seeing a Great White finishing here relatively soon, just by glancing at the damage output.
Yeah, his Edge making pretty quick work of this, even by himself.
And Izan's tipping into the tower.
Oh, wow.
So Izan making some interesting calls here when they know they have the crystal. I'm thinking that they glanced over the pass and are looking for the darkness crystal right now.
That must be it. It must be thinking the pass might be hidden on the moon. Because it can do that sometimes.
And maybe Benchinator's trying to get Fu to full power? Because he dipped into the Dwarf Castle as well when they're in go mode.
But he saw Plague and just passed it.
Yeah.
I mean, it does not look like Benchinator has the pass either.
Yeah. And Great White is in Meteor phase, meaning the fight should be over soon. Dusty hopping into Great White finishing second place with a time of 56.08. Dusty dipped into Tomra to check the item shop. I'm assuming maybe looking for coffins or sirens or something.
Benchinator going to Eblon Cave, probably looking for the pass and find those Bacchus spines.
Be very good. So Benchinator actually does have the pass. So maybe they're looking for coffins or something.
Looks like he's going to go check which character is in Eblon Cave.
Maybe they don't feel confident with their party. That could be a thing, definitely. Looks like we have the Dark Imps in, I want to say Dr. Lugay's spot.
Yes, that is where Eisen is right now.
And Dusty's headed back up. Not sure where Dusty's really going right now. Maybe to just check item shops or something for sirens in case they missed them, which they were in Fabul. So it's very possible that Dusty missed the sirens here.
I think Dusty's already been grinding. I wonder if he's uncomfortable with his level and wants more sirens.
Very possible. Ooh, Night Dew finishing in third place with a time of 57.22.
Like Eisen got the pink tail on the top of the tower. They'll be able to turn that in for another adamant armor.
Yeah, definitely. Another free adamant, which is very good. Well, not free, but still. Another adamant is always good. Never complain when you get adamant armor. So it looks like, I think Dusty's just trying to knock out some bosses to get Fusaya to full power.
Yeah, that would be my guess, yeah. I think he's plenty high enough level, judging by his HP values. He just wants to get Fusaya those extra couple spells and HP.
And Benjinator doing Siren Grind.
And Eisen finding Bahamut in the middle of the tower.
Free fight. I think the spot has like 800 something HP. But split between, or total, not split. Yeah, I think it's got like 900 total due to just the Dark Imps being there.
Yeah. Uh-oh, Dusty backing out, making a safety save right before Octomom, who we know is the Wyvern fight.
It's very smart, but Wyvern shouldn't be really an issue at all.
Yeah. I'm assuming Edge is going to one-shot it here. It'd be Let's Rosa attack first.
Yeah, it would be. Octo's got 2000 HP, so 2000 HP Wyvern is really quick and easy.
Now Benjinator going into the plague fight in the Dwarf Castle.
One strategy that you can actually use for Plague is if you have Star Veils or Moon Veil, If you hurry up and get a reflect off, it will reflect the count onto Plague itself, and it will just spam nothing but count. And it looks like Dipwood has finished in 4th place with a time of 59:35.
So the good thing for Plague is you can kill off your own characters and then bring them back, and it'll recast count.
Yeah, that's another good strategy to do. Is wait for the don't wait for the timer, but wait to get counted, and then just attack one of your people, kill them, bring them back, and then Plague will recount the whole party.
I guess here we're seeing Dusty doing his final equips before going to fight Zeromus.
Izan did bought some Ether 2s and stumbles upon the pass. So Izan is now in go mode as well. Probably going to go make a safety save, check equipment, and then go hop into the Zeromus fight. Unless they haven't done grinding yet. I don't think they've done grinding yet.
No, I think they'll need to grind now. Yeah, it looks like he's hopping in the airship's probably going to go grind and then hop into that Zeromus fight. And we have a 5th place finisher, Demarine, finishing with a time of 1:01:07.
And another finisher.
Yeah, coming in right behind Demarine with a 1:01:16.
9 seconds between 5th and 6th. I expect to see a lot of dot dones flowing in really soon, especially with the way the seed was.
Yeah, it was a fairly linear seed that led to, a couple choices in the underworld, but 3 items that led to the crystal, pretty much.
Yeah. So we see Dusty here entering the Zeromus fight. Always use the crystal right away, because if you prep like a berserker on somebody before use the crystal and Zeromus shakes, anytime Zeromus shakes, all status effects or special things are cancelled. Only in his first form. In his second form, when he shakes, he's telling you, hey, I'm about to cast Big Bang, so you better keep an eye out.
Yeah, I got Eisen now doing a bit of grinding before going to fight, and eventually making his way through the Fabul Gauntlet in the Dwarf Castle. We have a 7th place finisher, Ravlin, finishing with a time of 1:02:50.
So Izan's doing her grind right now. Their grind right now. So basically, for this grind, you buy passes, you buy coffins, or you just attack instead, and you just use the sirens there. You get 34,000 experience per egg that you kill, but with the X2 flag that we have on, it doubles experience gained at 10 key items. So that's why you're seeing 68,000, and it's not split experience. Each person gets 68,000 experience.
Benjamin jumping into the Dwarf Castle shop finds some Artemis arrows, which can be very useful, though they can also be used for the grind fight themselves since they do extra damage against dragons.
It looks like Dusty's going to be through the Zeromus fight really quick with the damage that they're putting up. They're doing 7,000 per Cecil and Edge attack combined. It's going to make nice quick work of Zeromus here.
Using silk webs to both slow down Zeromus and also nerf the Big Bangs. So when you use a magical attack against Zeromus, he'll counter with a nuke for most of them, for summons and some white magic, he'll do some different things, but...
Supremacy finishing in 8th place with a time of 104.24.
I believe we had, what was it, 32 or 33 people in the race today?
We can find that out really quick. Looks like 29. Could be 28. I might have accidentally counted a race bot. Zeromus, let's talk about the Zeromus fight for a little bit. He has 3 phases. Phase 1, his turns will be Big Bang, and that'll be followed by a black hole, followed by another Big Bang. And then if you happen to get past that and you haven't hit the next phase yet, you will end up getting a virus, a full party virus, which isn't too devastating, but it can be, especially if you just ate a Big Bang and you haven't recovered yet. His second phase will be Big Bangs, and then nukes, and every once in a while a black hole. And the third phase that everybody looks for is his Meteo phase, where all he's going to do is just cast Meteo. And his Meteo is actually really inaccurate and doesn't do a lot of damage.
Thankfully.
Yeah, thankfully. Otherwise, it's a pretty easy fight to get down once you kind of look at how everything kind of breaks down.
It looks like we got Eisen leveled up enough and heading into the Zeromus fight here. And we have a 9th place tie.
Oh, nope. It just says tie, but it says a second off. That's crazy.
Yeah, it looks like Schmitty Games and Dusty Griff. Schmitty finishing with a 106.44, Dusty with a 106.45, although the race bot says they tied.
A tie. That's really good. These are really good times for the seed. It's amazing to see how many people are getting really good at this randomizer really quick.
Well, especially this set of flags. I don't know if we've talked about it, but this is the flag set for the league for Final Fantasy, the Highway to the Zenith Zone. So there's been a lot of races done with these flags.
Yeah, it's expect to see a whole bunch of these types of races pop up throughout the week. The next couple weeks, actually. The second one ends. The fourth qualifier ends next week, right?
Yeah, we have one tomorrow at 10 a.m. and then another one on, it looks like, Tuesday at 7 p.m. And these are all Eastern time.
And then it looks like, I don't know how to pronounce their name, Homj, finishes in 11th place with a time of 107.54. But back to the qualifiers, we have a little event going on, and we have, what was it, 120 people that joined, and it's gonna be the top 32 people from these 4 qualifiers that have been raced with these flags. So there's gonna be a lot of these flags races going on in the coming days, especially with people wanting to make the second part of the event.
And as soon as these are all done, we go on to the top 32 and a whole new set of flags.
Oh yeah, the flags don't change too much, but they do get a little bit more difficult. I expect to see a lot of those races coming up for people practicing and stuff like that. Looks like Izan's doing their fight relatively well, getting those count the Big Bang nerfs off. Unfortunately, taking a nuke on Edge there. It's a tough one, especially if Big Bang goes off and it rolls a little bit on the high side. We'll see if Edge is going to survive here. I'm assuming Edge has Adamant, Ribbon, and whatever else on, so Edge should be fine. Yeah, 436. That's a very well nerfed Big Bang there.
My guess is his Edge probably has pretty decent equipment as well.
Yeah, I've seen Crystal Ring and Adamant and Ribbon. If you put Crystal Ring, Adamant, and Ribbon on somebody, they're pretty much indestructible. And on Benjinator's side, you see Cecil taking a nap there. The way the enemy's agility works in this game is it's either based off of Cecil if he's in your party, or if he's not in your party, the character in the middle slot. And they base off of that person's agility to kind of get a relative speed of the whole battle for the boss or enemies or encounters that you get.
It can either have a very large or very small effect on the boss, depending on... I mean, if you're a high enough level, it's not going to matter, but if you're trying to do Zomas at a low level, it could matter a lot.
Oh, absolutely. It looks like we have 12th and 13th place finishers right now. Exodin has finished in 12th place with a time of 1:10:30, and Mr. Ubik has finished in 13th with a time of 1:10:42. 12 seconds apart. It's really close. Ooh, Edge almost dying on Izan's side, taking a full power Big Bang there. It's gonna hurt. But a quick Cure 4 and a quick Cure 3 brings everybody right back up into fighting capacity.
Just looking at HP values, my guess is Benjinator's going to be heading into or up towards Zeromus soon.
Probably very soon. Probably after this battle. Maybe they're trying to get Rydia to a little bit more HP. Yeah, that's
Nuke on Rydia or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And in this situation, it'd probably just be faster to beat Zeromus with 4 characters and let Rydia take a nap, just like Izan's doing. If she is trying to, Izan finishes up in 14th place with a 1:12:16. But if Benjinator is trying to get Rydia to some higher HP and get Nuke, we're going to be here for just a little bit, because she gets Nuke at 55, I want to say.
I believe that's right. I think she gets Meteor at 52, and then Nuke at 55.
It's pretty funny that she learns Meteor before Nuke. And it looks like Zyrak has finished in 15th place with a time of 1:12:39. Very, very good times from top 15.
But as we do see Benjinator going up here to fight Zeromus, also do make sure to follow all of our runners here. Put on a good race for us all. And
yes, definitely. If you haven't yet, follow these racers. They're putting in some serious time to try and do their best at getting good, as we have seen them play significantly. Well, not significantly, like extraordinarily well. These are some really good times for these flags. They've been working their butts off trying to be able to be showcased and all that. So one thing we may see here on Benjinator's side, we do have the spoon and we do have Edge, so we can throw it. If you happen to actually throw something or do anything sort of damaging to Zeromus before a certain point after he changes, it will actually still miss. I'm not sure exactly why. I think maybe it's still stuck in that postscript, but usually the rule of thumb is after Zeromus's name changes, go ahead and enter your command that you want to do.
I've wasted so many silk webs throwing them into Romus early.
Absolutely. I've wasted Excaliburs doing that, and it's kind of something you gotta get a feel for, because it's not right as Romus's name changes. It's just like a split second afterwards that I guess the script kind of changes over to first phase is Zeromus. So we'll see if Edge is probably going to do his turn here. Oh, Rosa, nice. Looks like we have a 16th place finish. PMA KFL has finished in 1 hour and 15 flat.
Get to see a final water miss here. Actually casting Blink on Cecil.
Yeah, maybe Benjinator tried to get Berserk instead and accidentally hit Blink. I've done that a few times myself. It's like, oh, it starts with a B, just pick that one. But thankfully they have Bacchus wines, so it doesn't really matter. Ooh. Mistimed a nuke there, and the Big Bang went off before the nuke, so we're going to see a nuke counter here, and this could be hurting pretty bad.
Yeah. He's probably happy he didn't hit Rosa here, and we have another tie. So in 17th place, Mio Noko and Neon Gray finished with 1:16.05.
And Yuno's finishing 19th with a 1:16.21. Really close finishes. I expect to see quite a few more really close ones as well.
Oh, and Benjamin just going and resetting with that start that he had.
Oh, yeah. If you happen to fall behind on keeping up those Big Bangs, it's gonna hurt. And it looks like Kabuto Zero has finished in 20th with a time of 1:16.43. Really, really close finishes here. 2 ties is pretty crazy.
I mean, like the top 20, there's only a 22-minute split between all of those racers.
Yeah, this is shaping up to be really good. Looks like Ginger Damas has finished in 21st at a 1:17.38. So we're kind of trickling down to the end of the line here. We're going to see maybe 4 or 5 more people in the race finish up here soon. Benjinator, as long as he gets the fight off, it gets off on the right foot in this fight, I think we'll see a finish here soon. A cool little thing that I like that was added to this randomizer is when you're done, it shows you where every key item was. So just in case you missed something, we're like, oh, I wonder where that's at. And it just shows you where every single one was at. So it'll show you the location. And it does the same thing in heavier K seeded seeds as well. It'll show you the exact chest that a key item was hidden in or something like that. It's really interesting, especially if you're curious as to where, say, the pink tail was, or where the hook was if you didn't need the hook at all or something. Yeah. So looks like another mistimed Big Bang nerf.
I guess problem is he's trying to use a longer casting spell. Although, actually, his character died that was going to cast it, so...
Yeah, that's think they made a mistake and actually used life on Edge. Maybe they're trying to bring Rydia back. I think the best option right now is to just leave Rydia dead and get through this fight.
Yeah, I believe he has a bow on her as well. Like, she's not going to be doing much in this fight.
And it's actually a really smart play here. Just wait for the shake, and hopefully we see Nuke go off before the Big Bang here.
We have Mecha Link finishing in 20 seconds with a 119.17.
Oh, get the Nuke off just in time. So you'll see a Big Bang immediately following, and probably an Edge death.
Yeah, that was a pretty big nuke.
So other than Zeromus really just following us on what to do, this fight's really not too in depth. He'll do Big Bang, Black Hole, which removes all status effects. So like Berserk, Wall, Slow. So it can be kind of inconvenient, especially if Zeromus is really fast and keeps getting off black holes. It gets rid of your Berserk quite often. And we saw another spoon get thrown. If only we could throw the Spoony Bard.
Yeah, as we're wrapping up here, there's not much more left of this. Just finishing off this boss. So.
It's like another finisher, 23rd place, Crimson Phoenix, or Chrism Phoenix, with a time of 121.31. I think we're waiting on 2 or 3 more people, because we had a few forfeits in there, unfortunately.
Looks like we still have 6 racers still going.
Very nice. So Edge, unfortunately, getting the nuke counter and barely dying to that Big Bang. 810 damage dealt, 809 HP. Sometimes that kind of hurts to see. That was a really good nerfed Big Bang, though. Ooh, Rosa taking a pretty hefty nuke there. That is not good to see. Hopefully he gets a life off and oh, he's just going for a cure. Let's hope for a really low roll Big Bang on Fusoya. Otherwise they're gonna be kind of in a hole here with just having 2 Berserk characters.
I believe he put a adamant armor on his Fusoya as well.
Oh, okay. That's good. Yeah, adamant's gonna greatly reduce the ooh, still really close. That's a really big Big Bang roll for having adamant armor on.
As long as he doesn't, okay, good. He didn't push him into Meteor there.
Yeah, you gotta. I've seen many Zeromus fights die to the Meteor phase by accidentally having it pushed over into phase 3. Oh, I was gonna say it's probably just smart to take the full power Big Bang here. Might push him over. Just hope Fusoya can survive and not get another high roll. Good, 1500. Very good, a very good low roll that we needed there.
Loses his Cecil, but he should be close to pushing him over with just Edge here.
Yeah.
Oh, gets a black hole.
Yeah, if I were in the spot, I would just make sure to not waste my turn there and use Berserk. Especially since I have Bacchus Wines, I would have just probably brought Rosa back to life and then just used a Bacchus wine instead.
Yeah, especially his Fusoya is almost out of mana here.
Yeah. And Benchinator finishes 25th place with a 124.43. Salty Fry finishes in 26th place with a 124.47. Although I probably, oh, they were in media phase. Maybe jumped a little bit ahead there reading that Benchinator finished.
Just a little bit. That finishes off with a nuke from Fusoya anyway, so...
Nuke finish. That's the dream right there. So all in all, this the seed was pretty generous. Quite a few adamant armors, quite a few ribbons showed up. Fusoya and Edge to start. I mean, you couldn't have asked for a much kinder seed, to be honest.
Nah, everything. There was early Gaia drums. There was a couple people missed the pass and did some looking around, but all in all, the seed gave you everything you needed to beat it pretty quickly here.
Yeah, exactly. Coffins, sirens. I mean, sometimes there will be seeds with no sirens, and you just gotta kind of improvise and find other places to grind at. Joel finishing in 27th place with a time of 126.20. I just want to say GG to everybody who took place in the race. Amazing job to everyone, whether you finished or not. It's always great to see a whole bunch of people in these races.
Finish up here in a second, so do make sure you follow all of our racers. Also, thanks to Casual Geek Dave for being our tracker tonight, and Cyclone for restreaming and everything, and Coach for commentating with me here.
Yeah, and thank you for being an amazing commentator, and thank you everybody who hung around, watched the race. If you want more free enterprise action, tomorrow morning at 10 Eastern Time, a qualifier race with these same exact flags will be on RPG Limit Break. That's at 10 a.m. Eastern Time, and funnily enough, I'll be back commentating.
If I wake up in time, I'll probably be racing.
And I do want to wish good luck to everybody tomorrow. Big shout out to this community. Definitely one of the best communities I've been part of. If you're interested in this, just Google Free Enterprise FF4, and if you go to that website, it has a link to the Discord and everything, and everything you need is there pretty much.